Alright, after 8 months of patient waiting and 3 days of fighting, arguing, complaining, and calling, emailing, all kinds of shipping company. I said all kinds because the shipping company they used has a lot of contracting layers, a lot of middlemen. I finally received this bumper. I finally see it at my gate. Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of my installation series. I recently created multiple playlists for my channel. I think I'm gonna start building this channel a little bit bigger, so it's better to have some categories and playlists. Rainy, really bad outside, but the Toyota Jamboree is at the end of this week, and I'm rolling out with some friends from San Antonio on Thursday morning. So today is Monday. I better start working on my truck before it's too late. And I have no idea how long I can work on this thing. We will see how it goes. So today's project is a rear bumper. Like you saw a little bit in the beginning part of this video, my Expedition 1 rear bumper with dual carrier finally arrived. So I already unpacked it. This is what does it look like right now. And the swing arm, another piece of swing arm, and then the harbor in that box right there. I think my goal today is to take the factory front bumper off from the truck. Maybe put this piece on there, hopefully. Don't mind the shop because we're remodeling the shop, so it's a little dirty and a little messy. We have stuff everywhere. Yeah, my truck barely fits in here. Barely. So I think future-wise we're gonna take down the old gate and maybe lift the doorway up a little bit so my truck can fit in here. I'm hoping I can have a hoist to hold my tent when I'm not using it, because right now I have the tent on there 24/7. The tent is covering some of the rain for me, so I don't think I'll be getting that wet. Okay, that's not too bad. 10 minutes job. Just loosen all the mounting bolts with 12mm. You just need a socket and everything is successful. And then you just take it right off. Finally, no more chromes on the back. I love it. For 07 to 2013 Tundras, first step we need to enlarge the hull a little bit more. And I'm guessing I'm gonna use a 3/8 drill bit to enlarge it. And I was messing with the wire down there because I have a truck tailgate light and also this light. I was fixing the wiring for that, and darn it, I almost couldn't find my electrical tape, but eventually I did, so I don't have to buy another one. I'm still debating if I want to keep this tailgate light or not. I will just decide it when I have the bumper on there. Okay, this is mounting brackets, and then they have they gave me 2 packs of the 3/8 bolts, which we just drilled a spot for it, and this goes onto the stock hitch receivers. Something like this. Yeah, something like that. And now we're gonna take these 2 bolts off from our OEM hitch receivers. And let's see. With all these hardwares, it took me a couple of seconds to realize that's a Toyota Tundra rear bumper hardware kit. And this is the kit that we are going to use right now. And on these, these two we're gonna taking off. They are 19mm on the OEM hitch receivers, and I bet it's gonna be hard to break enough because I see Loctite right there. Okay, easier than I saw it would be. Alright, let's proceed to the next four. Alright, now we're gonna clean them up. Like little corrosion like these, I'm not too worried about it. I just wanna get it at least a little bit rust free before I put them on there. These bolts being on the truck since 2012 and then they still look in pretty good condition, so I'm not so worried about these bolts. Clean the contacting surface a little bit too. Both side mount brackets are on there, and then be sure to keep the bolts loose so we can adjust them later. This step can be a little stressful if you're by yourself, because the bumper is able to sit right on the hitch receiver. I don't need boxes, or I don't need people to help them hold it while I'm tightening them down. I'm currently having some little issues because I used to run my wires through that hole right there. So I need to clear my wires first before tightening them down. So you're gonna see at this location you have two bolts. That's gonna be the hex bolts. We have a problem. So the problem is, according to instruction, right, we're supposed to put the hex bolts in this rectangular position right here, with same size for the of the washer. And when I have this side matched to line up, and this side is way off, it's leaning outside too much. And when I line this side up a little bit, this is out. And the reason is that my full-size spare underneath the truck is being too big. I was really excited. I was like, oh man, this will be great. I'm gonna be rocking 2 spare tires, and for the worst case, I'll be able to change my tires twice. But it seems like that's not gonna happen. Maybe after the bumper install, I will try to air out my spare a little bit, so it will be a little deflated. Maybe that will fit, maybe not, but I'll just have to keep an eye on it afterwards. Right now I have to go drop my spare. With the spare down like this, aligned. Top 2 bolts first, and these 2 there the second. Lastly, the factory bolts, and they are tightened down and apply a decent amount of Loctite on there. There's one quick question that I will be calling them tomorrow, because you can't see, but remember that pre-drilled, pre-enlarged hole that we did? There's supposed to be another hole on this bumper, another 2 holes on this bumper to match to fit the 3/8 hex bolts in there, but there's no hole, so I'll be calling them tomorrow to figure out, is this a newer version, or is this something else? Day 2 back at the shop. So I did some little research. I was looking up the pictures on Google, see other Tundras have this bumper. I don't see the bottom 3/8 bolts on the other Tundra. My bumper came in a little bit different than what it looks like on their website. Except there's no holes for this bolt. The other thing of the difference is we have this mount right here, which is not advertised on their website. Being right here, it does me a lot of favor. When I was choosing bumpers, I almost didn't buy this bumper because they don't have a mount for this harness right here, because as you can see right here, this harness being bent like 3 times. This truck has long wheelbase, and then the clearance on the back is not so great. Every time I dunk at a rock or I dunk at something when I'm trying to go a little bit off-road, with that being cut out right there, I'm able to move this up here, so I don't have to dunk on this metal bracket anymore. So day 2 right now, I just cleaned the rust off the bolt, the swing arm bolts a little bit with a wire brush, because it was raining last night, so these guys got a little bit of rust on there, but I think it will be fine. And we are using marine-based grease for the lubricant. It does get wet, so we want something that's marine-based and then it's water-resistant. And here's my spare tire. I bought the rim when the four-wheel parts was on sale. Saved like 20 bucks. And got a used 35 tire. It has decent amount of thread on there. And I got a mountain balanced. Hopefully we can get to that step today. But I just put it out of the storage. So it looks really new. I've been keeping it indoor. I have hit the jackpot because I just put this down there and proper grease and then 2 bearings, top and bottom, washer and then the nut. But I was having trouble finding a correct socket for the nut. All the sockets I had are too small. But I hit the jackpot, I say, because I found this laying down somewhere. It's a 36 millimeter and it fits right in there. So I'm just gonna get rid of the rust a little bit and keep this socket, or else I have to drive to town and pick something up like that. All the way back and loosen it up a tiny hair. Okay, there we go. There we go. This goes onto the bumper. It's like stopping for the swing outs, and then this is the actual latching mechanisms for it. Looks really nice, really fancy. All the mechanism in here looks really nice, and then clearly this is rebuildable, like by switching out the bolts and springs, which I really like. But what it sucks is just like there's so many different sizes of bolts, and then I'm trying to figure out by comparing the size and shape and trying to put them on here. Now look at this. Not going anywhere. Don't mind the sound because I left this part on loose because I haven't installed the passenger side yet. Okay, moving on to the tire mount assembly part. We have 2 kinds of bolt nut washer set, 3/8 and then half. finished them all, but not quite yet. A lot of bolts to tighten down. Just added this Smitterbilt jerry can mount. This is a mount I got long time ago. So I didn't purchase the Expedition 1 jerry mount when I bought this bumper. This is just an alternative that I have by using whatever material I have left over in the garage. So it holds okay, but I think it's because the jerry can I have, it's like a little bit like doesn't fit, but it's not going anywhere neither. So this is going to be the current setup for now. Last night I decided to put the tire a little bit towards the left side because I was worrying about blocking the rear view, the turn signal light and then the brake light. But temporarily for right now, and I do have a problem seeing the lights from this angle, so hopefully it doesn't get pulled over before I find out another option I can go. Gonna mount some shackle on here later, and gonna have rigid SAE approved light pods running on the back. Alright, last part of the installation, which is my favorite part. We are going to put the decal onto the truck bed right here. Got all the dust off, and right now we are going to position the sticker. Gonna look like that. Ta-da! Finished! Welcome to the last part of the video. So I was pretty busy right after my Jamboree trip, so I wasn't able to finish making this video on time. And today we are actually gonna do the last part, which is the reviewing part. I'll be sharing some of the details and informations that I learned that you might want to know if you are looking to purchase one of these bumpers. That will be useful for you. Excuse me about the wind again. It always gets really windy out here. Hopefully you can hear me fine. So first I want to talk about these latching systems. Maintenance on these things I assume is pretty reasonable. And I have no idea about other bumpers with those latching systems attached to it. But for me it looks like if I want to replace all these, I can just purchase another part from Expedition 1, where I can even go ahead, find who makes these for them, and I can directly purchase a part and replace them just by unbolting them and then put the parts back on there. Second are these shackle mounts. There's a difference that was being pointed out at one of our local overlanding meets, is that this bumper has round edge for their shackle mounts. Unlike some other bumpers, they all have the sharp edges. Third, I can easily mount a winch back here. There's enough space and opening if I take my spare out. Lastly, about these swing out bearings. So I learned that they do get moisture built in even though it's supposed to be sealed. Solution to these is try to do a maintenance around a year or so every year. So switch out the bearings and re-grease it, and those will be preventive maintenance. And if you are going to install this bumper soon onto your truck or car, make sure you put extra amount of marine grease in there. And this is the side view. You can see it's really tied to the truck bed. That's one of the reasons I didn't get those spare tire carriers that you'd attach to the hitch receiver, because it will probably make the length of the truck a little longer, which is not as tight as this bumper can provide. If I got a spare tire carrier that you attach to a hitch receiver, I'll be worrying about the rear clearance when I run through some trails. I probably will dunk on it really often, but with this bumper, I ran through alright terrain. I think I only dunked on the hitch receiver instead of whatever I will be attaching on here if I get that different spare tire carrier. But with this bumper, I think I will be okay. And another reason I got this bumper is because there aren't many manufacturers make rear bumper with swing outs for second gen Tundra, and I do see some custom made out there with metal tubes like rock slider, like they're round, but I don't like the way how they look, and I like the way how this bumper shaped out. I was looking at a conversion to put on 2014 and then up Tundra's rear bumper onto this one, but that required me to modify on the side, on the both side of my truck, because 2014 and up there's more angle on the side, and I wasn't sure about how the mounting hardware will be different between this truck and then newer trucks. The only holdback for me with this bumper, which was my last consideration point, is a trailer harness. Like I said in my installation part of the video, from the website I saw this thing will be still down there, but apparently I think they changed the design a little bit. They moved it up here, just like the 14 and then up Tundra bumpers, which is really good, really nice of them for doing that. And I wasn't expecting this will be here when it arrived. Until I was unpackaging this whole bumper, I was like, oh wow, that's even better. I love it. My next plan for next mods I will do on this rear bumper is I will be looking for some folding tables to put on the side of the swing outs. So this concludes the whole video. I hope you enjoyed the content of my experience installing this bumper, and then also share a little bit thoughts of this bumper as well. And probably later down the road, I'll be making another review regarding this rear bumper as well as my front bumper that I installed last year or 2 years ago, to show you how they are holding up. And well, lastly, thank you very much for watching the video. I'll see you guys next time.